you're going to hear right now from Henry what we're going to do from now on.
Let's bring us to the future of Punkin. Now, over the summer, after we finish with this model, we want to construct a larger, stable, more powerful, better model that we can actually bring to the competition in November. And for that, we need your help. Chunkin is becoming a club in the summer, and we're receiving funding. And if anybody's interested in joining, talk to one of us after this, and we'll be happy to assist you. Now, we're sure that we're going to win, simply because we're going to do it better than everybody else before us. We're going to, as Alex said, out-engineer people. So, this is one of the most efficient designs possible for trebuchets. There have been slightly similar models in the past that people have entered as kind of like proof of concept. So we know that this concept works. There's one that's about this height, a little bit longer, and using only, I think, 500 pounds of counterweight, got a shot of close to 1,000 feet, which is a little over half of the distance that we need. And that's using a trebuchet that's almost the same size. So if we build it bigger, if we build it better, we can easily destroy the competition, especially in a hand-powered division. Now, a lot of other hand-powered division trebuchets rely on storing energy in via springs or something, and you have to like pedal really fast on a bicycle to store all this energy. All we have to do is simply raise a counterweight up 20 feet, 15, 20 feet. And that's pretty easy. All we have to do is get a winch and a hand crank, and we're done. So this model is simpler in operation, far more complex in building, but with your help and with our engineering expertise, we can easily win. Feel free to look at any of these models. Thank you. Questions?
My question is about the physics of it. Is how important is the forward movement of that cart? Is that the central element, or is that just...
It helps. It helps. In normal trebuchets, that's why they put wheels on them, so that a little bit of the forward momentum of the counterweight is translated into the projectile. The problem with that is, though, you're moving the entire trebuchet forward like a couple feet, maybe. With this, we don't have to deal with all the mass of the base moving, just the cart moves, so you get a lot more of the forward transitional motion.
If I understand your question correctly, you're asking if the relative motion of the cart actually speeds up the projectile that much. And from that, the whole thing with this is that it's a double pendulum. It's not so much the translational speed of the cart, it's more the way that that moves and the way that the second pendulum reacts to the first counterweight drop.
The reason I'm asking is, if you need to maximize it, then what if you had it tilted downwards? And if it doesn't really matter and you're worried about safety, you could tilt it upwards. So by the time it's done with the shot, it's run out of its forward momentum and it just comes back.
Oh, right. That's definitely something we would consider. That was actually brought up before, and we talked about it. The issue being that this cart system is very heavy. It's a lot of steel. And since it is hand-powered, we already have 2 minutes to bring up the counterweight. So it's more like we would have to see once it's built.
We could obviously consider that in the design phase and see how feasible it is.
Yeah,
A lot of
see once it's built.
A lot of the thing with this trebuchet is that there's not a lot of documentation, and actually modeling the physics behind it is very difficult. We talked to Professor Wolf, and he told us he was Lagrangian equation.
I'm not asking you to model the physics.
Right. Which is what I'm saying is most of what we learn has to be from physical models and things like this.
I'd like you to understand the physics of modeling.
Okay.
And understand what the relative importance of the cart moving is.
In the grand scheme of things, kinetic energy and the potential energy of that cart climbing ruined the energy transmitted to the Punkin in theory.
Really, I don't know. I mean, that's...
Yeah, these are all things we have to consider. Once we learn from this model, we're going to go through another design phase where we can look at possible modifications to the design just to improve it more. Yeah. Question?
Since it's symmetrical,
Go ahead, Jay.
Since it's symmetrical how it is currently, could you maybe put those rails on a slant and try it? And it's not really symmetrical. I'm wrong.
Well, the problem with that is if you have it tilting down, it's harder for the cart to come back. the cart never actually reaches this side, which is an important safety constraint because like this has a lot of energy. So if it hits this stop with a lot of force, it could break through. What happens is when this falls down, it goes forward until it reaches here, and then it starts moving backwards. So it's a safety mechanism built into the design of the trebuchet. So that's why having it kind of like this is important. What we could consider is having it at a U, so that it comes down, and then here it fires, and then like it comes back up a little to safely stop. That's something we could consider, rather than just having it straight slanted down.
What do you use like vertical momentum?
See, those are all things we have to model. We are like consider. We don't know for sure.
You can make dozens of that.
Yeah, we can make lots of models and like small models once we get finished with this large model to examine possible design modifications.
There's 20 minutes left in the class, so I think we should go over to these guys, and then